Going on, everyone? So let's jump into this conversational and voice AI setup. Again, within 30 minutes or less. I do believe it'll be way less for that. But again, I want to show you the process. Now, again, just a reminder, the 30 minutes is based on someone that already has a sub-account set up, A2P approval. A2P approval can take a little bit, as you know, right? So just wanting to connect the AI to your GHL sub-account is as quick as adding a custom menu link in your agency, which now adds this here, right? So I do have some stats and testing data and stuff in here, but we're still going to build it in here and then demo it right away. So now that I've almost wasted a minute on top of that 30 minutes, let's go ahead and jump in here. Now, coming into the system, we're not going through all the tabs, buttons, bells, and whistles. We are simply going through the common things that we need to do and set up to get this functioning, right? So not going through any of this, jumping in a knowledge base. Knowledge base is going to be something very simple. You're just giving it a name, okay? And what it's going to do is populate a name like this. And when you click into it, in this knowledge base is where you're going to put all of your files, docs, FAQs, things like that you want to train your AI on. Now you can see here there's text, FAQs, file, and URL. Don't always depend on URL scraping, but it is an option there. Now, if I go ahead and click into here, toggle data, we can see what I've put in here, okay? Now, I do have a process for making sure I have a certain amount of content or context in my knowledge base for my AI, which I obviously share with everyone. But it's very simple. Now, I am going to be doing another video. I did this video, it cut out before I could finish. But I'm going to go ahead and say, let's just say I want to take this transcript from that video and upload it into the AI so that it knows what my offer was about. Okay, so I'm just going to take that, paste it in there, click upload, and then give it a name. This is HighLevel AI packages. Okay, boom. Now that assistant is going to be trained on all of this information. And again, you can have multiple different assistants, multiple different knowledge bases, and within those, they have all that information. Okay, so that's done. Next, we're going to go into create an assistant. There's going to be a brand new assistant here. Create assistant. You can obviously do it blank. You're a prompting king. You want to do it yourself, go ahead. You want to import an assistant from me, I can give you the link, which I obviously have. And then you can also do generate for me. Now, what this is going to do is you're just going to give this the name. Again, we can say booking assistant, right? Now you can start describing what this assistant does. What is the name of the assistant, right? Who is it helping? What are the offers, services? Not a whole lot of information of everything in the business. This is just like a basic overview of the assistant tasks, any pre-qualifying questions. So if you say you want them to ask if they're using GHL, if they're using AI, if not, do this, if so, do that. So you're just giving a little bit of context, like literally brain dump why you want to create this assistant. And I do have a framework and a structured doc for you to follow to make sure you're hitting all the things that this wants for a good prompt from the AI. However, we can just click show example. If you do that, you can come in and go ahead and edit this. Now, again, you're not physically creating your own prompts. This creates the prompt for you in the formatted structure so you don't have to. And even if you did have to create prompts, guess what? This dude has a custom GPT assistant that you just give it a little bit of information and it's going to prompt that thing awesome for you. Okay, so don't get overwhelmed, stressed, or confused with prompting. I have lots of stuff on that. I have customer assistants that do it for you. And then this also does it for you too. So without making this video too long, right? By the time I was talking about all that, I could have dumped down here what my assistant does, right? So let's go ahead and move on. Right now, you're going to see that that's just taking the information and kind of generating that prompt for the assistant, okay? Should populate right down here in a second. We're not going to pause. This is, again, the 30-minute. We want to keep this thing running full. So hopefully this doesn't take a long time to generate, and that's where most of my time went. No, it doesn't take long. Should be done any second here. It's probably the longest I've ever seen it take in a course because I'm doing this video, right? So here we are, prompt done, all set. Nothing you really need to do besides overview the identity, okay? This is the main things. I'm going to show you what you'd want to look at and just edit and tweak or update, and then what you don't need to bother with. Identity is one that you want to read over. Style guardrails, response guidelines, you don't really need to look at. Now, there's only some of the tasks that you need to take a peek at, okay? Now, that's more of when it starts to get to obviously the name, right, of the assistant in the business, but also it's the pre-qualifying part, wherever that ends, okay? That is mainly what the AI wants to know. What are your pre-qualifying questions for your business or your customers or client's business? That is what's important. That's what's going to tell the AI, okay, this is a good candidate. Let's go ahead and book that appointment automatically. Or it's going to end the conversation politely, right? Now, again, that's the only part that you really need to look at. All of this always stays the same when it comes to scheduling the appointment and greeting the person. The greeting can be anything you want. So once it gets into book the appointment, that's nothing you really need to do. Okay, so within seconds, we created our entire complicated prompt that we don't need to do nothing with. Now, coming over here, I am not going to jump into everything. Okay, this isn't a training on the system. I'm just showing you what I'm using. Okay, it's based on personal preference. If you want this in between 0 to 15 seconds, whatever it is, we're going to leave that. Now, coming into tools, this is where it gets really good, because these are the things we want our assistant to be able to do. Update details, update address, check availability, book appointments, reschedule appointments, cancel appointments. What else do we have here? So check appointments, create tasks, create notes, self-schedule. I usually check them all. That's all you need to do for there. You can create your own custom tools and get super techie. Guys, I'm going to show you how I keep it simple. I get results for my clients and people love it, okay? Now, obviously there are issues with AI, it being down, glitches in systems. But other than that, if you're keeping it simple, you can keep it moving. So the call part here, okay? The call duration, coffee shop, some things here are personal preference, but again, out of the box, not touching any of this stuff. I'm leaving everything the way it is for call settings. I'm just showing the important, the tools and abilities, knowledge base. Knowledge base is where we want to come and grab that knowledge base that we just created, okay? So obviously it was right here. So we're going to add that. Calendars. We can choose any of the calendars. You can sync all the calendars that you have in your GHL. If it's not showing up, you just sync them. So we're going to go ahead and pick the bot demo calendar. Right here, it's just kind of pulling in the days and times for that calendar to check the availability. It's going to do an appointment check to see if it is available, if that calendar is active. Another issue that we saw is the bots, people complaining about AI not working, whether it's Assistable, GHL, CloseBot, wherever it is. And a lot of times their calendar was in draft. Always make sure. And I do have a checklist for this stuff too. Okay. So anything else here, I'm not going to bother with. Okay. Now, going into tags, this is what triggers your AI to turn on and start that conversation. Now, I'm going to show you how simple the workflow is. Your mind's going to be blown. Okay. So coming in here, what is this tag? We're just going to say new sales rep. You want to click in, obviously, because you just created the tag. Now we want to choose the assistant that is going to that tag. So when this tag is added, it turns on this assistant. Okay. And we're just going to say sales rep AI on. Now, a lot of people just put AI on. You can, but what happens if you have multiple different assistants in your business and you don't want one doing the other? Okay. Make sure that you're labeling what the assistant name is. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and click this. So it kind of turns that into like a GHL kind of tag there. We're going to save that. Okay. Tags all set up. Going back into the assistant, as you can see right up here, shows phone number. So when I click that, it is going to go into the phone numbers so we can buy a phone number. I think it's like $2.50 per month to have that number. It's close to where GHL is at. Before we do that, I'm not going to during this quick demo, but I could come in and listen to every single one of these voices and choose the one that I like. And as you can see, there are a ton. I don't think there is other languages, but there is accents. Okay. Yes, you can clone your own voice. This was just released not too long ago. I have not dove into that yet because I keep things focused. But I am going to be getting into this a little bit deeper and start cloning my voice and stuff. Okay. So let's go over. We're going to save that, jump into numbers here. Okay. I'm not going to buy this number, but I am going to kind of briefly go over it. You can obviously choose the desired area code. That's going to give you a number in that location, right? This number is purchased through Assistable, not me. I'm not upcharging you. I'm not, no extra stuff. Comes directly from the source at the price that I get it for. So that's one way. The other one is, and this is the way that I've been doing it, you can import numbers. Now, no, you can't use LC GHL number. I'm hoping for that soon. Right now, it's just from Twilio. You can import a number from Twilio into here. Okay, so I'm not going to go buy another number. We already have that number there. The next thing that I want to do is come over to widgets. Okay, and now the orb that I have on the website or landing page that kind of chats with leads, builds rapport, you know, can maybe do a little pre-qualifying, but it can't physically book through the orb. It is, you know, telling them to go to the button. And I do believe that's already in the process. It might have come out, but I do think that it's still being worked on to where people will physically be able to go, click that orb, talk to it, it will book right through there. But I'm sure there's a lot that goes into that. I'm sure it's pretty complicated. But to create a new orb that does all that talking, watch how quick this is. We come in, we click orb, we give it a name. Remember, sales rep. I always do sales rep orb, sales rep SMS. If you're breaking it down, right? If you're making sure you have assistants broken down or multiple different assistants, make sure that you're naming these things properly so you're not getting tons of stuff confused. In this demo, I did add another one that just said sales rep, so there's two there. But I wouldn't normally do that if I'm doing it for myself or my client. Okay, so going into the sales rep. Now, all we're doing is choosing that assistant. Okay, so my assistant, you can choose an icon, which we're not going to bother. I like that icon. And then obviously you can choose the color that you want it to be. Right? Over here is a dark mode in case you have a dark page. And let's say that you have a lot of lighter colors and stuff, you know, you want to make sure this thing is popping on that page. So let's say that that's the orb that I want. Okay. We have our assistant selected, the icon, the color. You can click save. I'm pretty sure it already does when you click this, but get embed code. This embed code right here that you just grab and paste into your landing page or website is what makes that assistant pop up here. So what's the time? Under 15 minutes. And if I was not talking, I could have did it in 3 to 5 minutes. Now, that's how quick I can get orbs set up, SMS and inbound call and outbound calls with AI in my business or for my clients and myself. Now, that's pretty quick. I don't care what anybody says. And that was pretty simple. Okay. Now, obviously, there is a lot of other techie stuff to get into. There's tons that you can do. Assistable is very, very robust. Okay. It's just like GHL. Not saying they do everything, but the capabilities that you have with Assistable, just crazy capabilities. However, that's where a lot of people coming in start getting confused. Stop trying to do it all, figure it out all, learn everything all at the same time. Before you get out there, or before you build something, then get out there, demo it, and get some clients. Regardless of what platform it is, what tool you're using, what training you've watched, until you dive in and start tinkering around after watching a couple simple videos of how to get started, you're not going to feel comfortable, you're not going to understand it, and you're never, ever going to get an AI client. So if you are looking to build and sell conversational AI, you want steps, processes, training, prompts, all that stuff to go along with it so you're not feeling stuck, lost, confused. I have a group where I do 2 calls per month, 2 calls per week. That's 8 calls per month. To me, you can take all the training courses in the world, throw them in the trash. Hopping on a Zoom call with someone, strategizing, brainstorming, asking questions, getting a little bit of support is freaking priceless to me. So I don't know about you. Okay. Again, if you're interested, go ahead, click the button below, check out the packages. You can join right away. Or if you really need to chat and hop on, if I have not covered something, we can. But just know I'm not going to be jumping in and doing a tech background overview of the system either. There's lots of those out there from the owner. I am here to kind of show you, as a new person, no AI in your GHL, how quickly you can get that plugged in, set up, and ready to show your clients. So again, don't forget, I have a lot of great bonuses. I have not even put all of them on here. I have more. I just don't want this page being overwhelming. AI is already confusing enough, right? And then lastly, if you are a GHL user or looking to sign up, you can get this stuff. Okay. If you're looking to upgrade to SaaS, obviously got a great thing for you too. Okay. So awesome, guys. I hope everyone got the information they needed from that. Again, I have that demo, and then I also have this getting set up in under 30 minutes. Now, in that demo, I did not go through this. Same thing. Just like SMS, just like ManyChat or anything else, this is just going to chat back, book the appointment, and confirm it, right? So awesome, guys. I'll talk to you soon. Hope you have a good day.